that lasso up to be able to move around the map.
Yeah, also the lineup, like which heroes are picked for Alliance are actually quite surprising to me. As for Lifestealer, you want to introduce Alliance?
Yeah. For Alliance, up in their defensive trial, we're going to be EGM on the Rubik, Loda playing the Phantom Lancer, Aki on the Keeper of Light. Their mid lane going to be handled by S4 as per usual. This game on the Lifestealer, and finally off lane is going to be Admiral Bulldog. And he's on the Clockwork Goblin, hanging out behind the enemy tower, no fear whatsoever. Oh. He has 6 tangles. What should he be afraid of?
What can go wrong, right? Well, lucky for him.
There's totally not like a crazy ant.
Like, he can't go invisible or something. He's just gonna pull the lane behind his tower. Or towards his tower, I should say. But yeah, I mean, interesting lineup coming up from Alliance and Quantic. And one thing that, that Vykromond just put up with the stats. Like, 3 of the heroes of Quantic have at least higher than 10% win rate than average, and that's pretty damn high. Telekinesis here up on fucking Matt, though. This is Alliance that's gonna go for trying to first blood, and he might actually get it! Fucking Matt, can he get himself out? I think he can. The harassment is still gonna be there. There will be another lance as well, and that might be just the thing that they needed to slow him down. The illusion trying to block a little bit. Sticky napalm coming off from the high ground. Illuminate will dodge. Will get dodged by the Nightmare. It is getting taken over though. They do get first blood, but Aki might be following suit there. He is in a lot of trouble trying to run away. Telekinesis to the high ground. No TP scroll money. No flying courier. Godlike is a very sad undying. He can't get away. Like, who's gonna give him the TP scroll? The courier's not gonna upgrade itself. We've got fucking Matt who just died, so also doesn't have enough gold for neither a TP scroll nor an upgraded courier. And you don't want to spend gold on any of your other heroes. Oh, and never mind. They did spend gold. Bat Rider. Good guy, Bat Rider. Bought a flying courier. And someone else gave him a TP scroll.
Well, to be fair, it's in Bat Rider's best interest to get this Undying back to the lane as well, so he's going to immediately port back there. Not the start I think Quantic wanted to have, having to give up first blood there, as well as just getting Undying stuck on top of that cliff, which also kind of puts them in the opposition where they have to upgrade that courier like instantly and buy a TP scroll on Go Black so early. Hurts his gold income early on. I don't know, things not really ideal. They still have a very powerful tri-lane here. I'm not really sure what the Bat Rider is going to necessarily do. If he's just there to like sticky napalm and maybe eventually put a lot of fire on people once they're stuck slowed by the zombies. I'm still interested to see if this is going to work out, but giving up first blood is not the best start.
Definitely not. And I think I just want to remind people that EGM with this hero has a 93% win rate. 15 games played, only 1 game lost of those. So, yes, that's a scary Rubik, and we already saw the results of that. They might be able to try to go for it again. Nightmare is going to be put on Aki, stopping his Illuminate charge, and it is Quantic that tries to go for him. He tries to run, but look at the damage he's already taking. One more DK could actually do the job here. 2 stacks of Sticky Napalm on everybody, and they try to run, they try to hide. The DK is not enough. One more hit would do the job, but can he get it? He gets mana for himself. He tries to run. It is Bat Rider that ends up going down first. It is, oh, can he get the hit? He should be able to get the hit. He does get the hit. Bane gets a kill, but he'll die for it. Quantic might be able to get another one out of this one, though. We still have Goblak hanging around there. That's going to be already a double kill goal in the way of Loda, though, and that's not going to be worth it, regardless if they still get another support here on the board, and it might not even happen. Goblak running away. Is there mana up in EGM? No, there's not. There is no Chakra Magic either, so there's no Telekinesis or Fate Bolt. Looks like Goblak is going to be able to make it out alive, and I mean, they did get the hero on the end. They did get the Keeper of the Light, I believe, but that's... You give a double kill away for killing off a Keeper of the Light? No.
I mean, just not if you want to win.
Exactly.
If you don't want to win, then maybe you do that. You're just like, yeah, I'll give your Phantom Lancer 2 kills, and we'll just kill your support Keeper of the Light. But otherwise, no, you probably don't do that, typically. And it definitely Silent just kind of going a little too deep there. I think there's really no reason to tower down there. Like, you committed a lot of spells, sure, but you guys still have a lot of mana. A lot of their spells don't cost that much mana, all things considered, especially by comparison to some of the spells coming out from Alliance. And if they're forced to use all their regen on the side of Alliance, it's going to make it a lot harder for them, especially as they start moving around and getting these ganks coming out more and more frequently. I don't think there was a reason for them to overcommit there.
Not at all. And Loda, I think he's having a really good time with this Phantom Lancer right now because, I mean, in terms of last hits, he's really not doing all too well. But he's got a lot of kills to his name, and he's been in all 3 kills so far. And I mean, he's shutting down Silent. Silent is getting some last hits. He's actually almost on par with Loda. But I mean, this lane, this aggressive tri lane for Quantic, I'm actually thinking, should they continue running it? I actually don't think so. But what are they gonna do if they don't? I guess maybe try and kill off Bulldog a couple of times. Bulldog, by the way, who's having an okay time bottom as well. Black getting harassed a little bit. 32 for 6. He is gonna win this lane. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's the Weaver versus Clockwork lineup. But Bulldog level 6 as well. 20-2. He's not doing all too bad.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for Quantic to leave this lane, abandon it, unless things start going much worse. Like, they're not going well here, but they're going okay, and they're keeping Phantom Lancer from getting a lot of farm, whilst Weaver and OD are both getting substantially more in their respective lanes. Yeah. And that's pretty much exactly what Quantic wants in this kind of situation. They didn't even send a carry to that aggressive tri-lane. They sent a Batrider as the aggressive farmer, and that's like, whatever, if he doesn't get good farm, okay, it's a Batrider. As long as he's kind of getting some levels occasionally, it's fine. Our OD, our Weaver, those are the heroes we want to get levels and farm. And they're getting it right now, so it's not... Like, they're giving up these kills, but I think it's kind of just a conscious choice that they're going to be okay trading kills as long as they're keeping Loda off of the farm.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there. The only downside, of course, would be, you already mentioned that Batrider does need his levels. So is he going to be able to be that big of a contribution later on? We are going to have a relocate, or teleport rather, coming off from Goblak, who went towards the mid lane. We've got Bulldog sitting around with a DD rune. He of course did turn level 6, we saw that. He was looking for a hookshot mid, couldn't really get it. And in the end, S4 is going to be going to the jungle. He gets harassed too much and he backs out. No surprise there. I mean, you already mentioned, he is not winning his lane. It is OD that is dominating the lane. 21 for 5 up on S4. While Funzy is sitting on 33 for 20. 21 right now. 21 denies. That's a ton of denies, and that shows in the levels. Level 7 up for Funzy. Level 6 still up for S4.
Yeah, definitely. And those denies being so huge from both the Weaver and the Outworld is just really a big deal. It's fortunate for Alliance that they put melee heroes against both of these lanes that are just kind of getting the tons of denies, so they're not losing out on experience maybe as heavily as they otherwise would be. But getting a lot of denies, trying to keep the levels off of these heroes is very, very good for Quantic right now. If they can try and stop Emerald Bulldog from getting a high level on this Clockwork, he can't roam quite as efficiently, and really the same for S4 on the Lifestealer.
Yeah, and they actually, Quantic wants to make sure that maybe S4 is going to have an even tougher time. Goblak was around, sorry, Funzy, Phonic, no, fucking mad, jeez. The 7s just totally, you know, confuse me. He is backing off right now, though.
777.
Yeah, I know. He is gonna stack and pull some creeps. We do have EGM and Aki rotating. Since they're not needed top anymore, they're gonna try to make something happen and try to make S4's life a little bit easier. I'm not sure if they can actually kill OD, but maybe they're able to harass him a little bit away, allowing for S4 to take more last hits is already worth their while. That alone is going to be a good cause. And they leave Silent to free farm by himself on the top lane. I say free farm, it's still going to be up against the Phantom Lancer. But he is actually getting levels right now. He is level 5, so he will have his lasso soon and could rotate with that. And look at Bulldog indeed. I think you were the one that pinked that, right? No, or where's the Quantic?
It wasn't me, so...
Okay, that was Quantic then. They have a ward there, obviously. They saw Bulldog running there. That's you.
That one was me.
Okay. That's yellow then.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
confusing.
I'm gray.
Yes, we have got like Bulldog. He's hanging around for a hook shot for the 3rd time. He's sitting here, but you know, there's that ward that he keeps running past constantly, so they know that they have to be careful.
Yeah, they're just Emerald Bulldogs walking in circles, I guess, hoping that they'll forget about him. Unfortunately, Quantic have that ward that he just kept walking in and out of sight of. So he's never really able to set too much of anything up in that lane, and as a result, he just ends up wasting all the time. But he's also not particularly safe in that bottom lane anymore against Black on the Weaver. So his time, if he's like annoying the mid lane a little bit, forcing them to play a little bit more defensively, that's not the worst way he could be spending his time at this point.
Yeah, we've got the mechanism up on Funzy, by the way, in the meantime. And, yeah,
Radiant's top tower.
EGM is a scary, scary Rubik. He is also the one that is level 5 right now, which of the supports is actually the highest level. As we have Loda just casually taking down the tier 1 tower by himself, nobody else around. It's fine. He can do that at level 8 apparently. But yeah, I mean, EGM, highest level of supports. He's now being caught up by Bane, who also just turned level 5. And those levels are actually pretty important for the Rubik. Of course, you want to have your level 6 to steal some abilities. And if we look at Quantic, yes, they've got a level 5 Pain, but they have a level 3 Undying. Level 1 on each of his spells, and that's going to be dangerous. Like, his Tombstone already is not going to be meaning that much because you have got a Lifestealer in your game. A Lifestealer is a Tombstone killer. If he turns on his rage, he can just walk up and get himself a Tombstone kill. And, I mean, this is a bit scary, I think, for Quantic. At the same time, I mean, there's a level 4 Keeper of Light as well, but with the Illuminate, he can actually mean a little bit more than a Undying can, I think.
Yeah, definitely. The Tombstone not going to be particularly relevant with only a level 3 Undying. He needs more points to be able to put in that Tombstone so it gets a little bit tankier, harder to kill. He's not really doing too much thus far. It looks like he's going for a pull here down the bottom lane, I guess, just because he wants to be able to get some experience.
Yeah.
It'll help him out quite a bit if he can start getting some of these creep camps killed just to give him the levels. But he's not having a ton of success thus far. And again, like these supports on the side of Alliance are just so much higher level from all those kills that took place in top lane. That's one of the real dangers of giving up those kills in the tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, especially when you're aggressively tri-laning. You don't have a way to pull to get that additional experience, that additional farm for your heroes, and that's what hurts you the most.
Yeah, you have to get either kills or at least make sure that the supports on your other team, can't really get anything done either, so you will at least be on even footing. And of course that was not the case. In terms of Golden Loda, he is highest on net worth, and we see him building towards a Diffusal Blade. So that's going to be a Phantom Lancer that is going to be very dangerous very soon. And he will already, when he has a Diffusal, not be scared to be in teamfights that might happen. Though, I mean, if we look at the lineups, I think Alliance is going to be happy. Like, the way things are going, it's not really going all too aggressive. I mean, there's only 4 kills on the board. I say only 4 minutes in. I guess I'm a bit spoiled. And oh my god, that's a very sad Undying. Indeed, normally you push a lot harder, you get also gold with that, but no can do. But I mean, yeah, I mean, Alliance, they don't have to rush. They have got a Phantom Lancer. While Quantic, with their OD, with their Weaver, like, an OD is strongest before your enemy team gets their BKBs up. Weaver is, of course, strongest after he gets himself in the second item, so after his Lincolns. But I'm thinking Quantic is the one that should be making the move first. And they're not making any moves right now. And I'm wondering when it is going to happen that they are going to be making their move. Maybe when the Blink Dagger is up on silent, but that's going to be taking some time still.
I don't know if Quantic are necessarily in the position where they have to force the fight. Like, Fan Lancer is obviously not the sort of thing you want to fight against as the game goes on, but OD is not the worst hero in the world to have against a Fan Lancer. The orbs, his orb effect does additional damage to illusions.
Yes.
So it's very fast for killing off all of those Fan Lancer illusions. Easier to find the real one. His ult, obviously, a very, very high damage AoE magic nuke. So also good for clearing off these illusions. And Weaver, if he's farming pretty well still, and they are actually leading on the CS in all of their lanes, sort of. If you consider Barry's been in the jungle, so his is a little inflated, but they're doing okay on CS, and they are actually gaining in terms of gold and experience as time is going on. I think they can afford to wait a little bit longer and get a couple items up before they start trying to force these fights. I wouldn't wait forever and just like say, well, we'll wait until Alliance is ready to fight, because that obviously seems like a pretty poor idea.
Yeah.
But they can wait a little bit more time. They can get that Blink Dagger. They can get something up on Weaver in the near future. He's only got Drum's Treads right now, which is a pretty aggressive build, so I think he's probably thinking that as well. They're going to get like one big item up on him before they get involved.
Yeah, I mean, since the tower dropped, Alliance has been getting behind on gold. Like, we have the gold graph even right now. Well, there's 1 tower in favor of Alliance and 2 kills. And we have the experience graph actually going the way of Quantic. And what is the main factor for that? Who is farming so fast? Is that actually Black? Because it seems like it might just be. Black is almost caught up on farm with Loda, while Loda has got 2 kills and a tower to his name. And that is a pretty big deal. Without a Hand of Midas, obviously. Loda, 80 last hits, while 98 go in the way of Black. So he is farming exceptionally well right now. And he can do that. I mean, he's not getting shut down whatsoever. Alliance, like we already discussed, like they're not gonna make a move most likely. So they are pretty comfortable in letting this happen. I'm not quite sure if it's the right move though.
Well, have you had the CS open recently?
Yes.
OD has 60 denies at 15 minutes. That's where a lot of this experience is coming in. Initiation in the bot lane.
Yeah, he gets last hit. He is gonna go down. Hookshot is still gonna start up on 2, which is nice. But the Undying still gets the last hit there. That's a Blink Dagger ready up on Silent. And they're gonna maybe try to go for S4 as well. There's no lasso up again, but look at the harassment. S4, he's taking a ton there, and he can't really walk himself back or eat himself back on something. He just has to wait until they go away. Only 2 heroes coming up here for Alliance. Fiend's Grip up on S4. That's gonna be a dead lifestealer. The TP comes in right now, but this Phantom Lancer is gonna be in too late. Nightmare will be denying Undying indeed. Silent comes in. Silent goes down. He was the one that stayed back too far. And right now, Black comes in as well. We still see fucking Mad die. Black is gonna be able to time-lapse himself out of the cogs, running away for his life with the Shikushi. Should be fine. And that actually turned out to be a way better trade for Alliance than I thought out it would be, because they get themselves in total 3 kills in return. Of course, it was the entire tri-lane that died. They didn't kill the OD. They didn't kill the Weaver. And they did lose and the Clockwork and the Lifestealer. Not really 2 good targets to lose there, but at least they don't leave empty-handed, and they don't lose their tower.
Yeah, in all fairness, that trade was probably pretty close to even in terms of priority. Like, Quantic lost 2 supports, but Alliance lost both their mid and their off lane. So, like, it could have gone worse for Quantic, and I also think they might have been able to disengage a little bit sooner than they really did. I think they maybe staged a bit longer than they needed to. They could have gotten that kill, I think, on Lifesteal and just immediately backed off. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I feel like it is.
Earlier, I think.
Yeah, Silent has been playing pretty aggressive this entire game, though.
Yes.
I think that's just what he wants to do this game. And I don't know, that he was able to set up those kills in the bottom lane. It's certainly something. Regardless, Quantic still getting quite a bit of farm, but Fanlancer is starting to do a pretty good job here. He's leading on net worth. He's catching up in last hits to Black, and that's going to be problematic if they give away a couple more fights like that and the supports just get so destroyed.
Yeah, we have got also level 11 up on the Phantom Lancer, so 2nd level in Phantom Edge, and he'll just get it more and more ahead, as we have actually a very aggressive Bat Rider once again. Wow. That is, that is a lot of denies. I mean, that's so painful. You can't underestimate the power of denies here. I mean, that's just sick. But yeah, this is a Phantom Lancer that is already at this point of the game very strong. He's got himself also the Yasha. He has been in 5 out of the 6 kills that Alliance has so far. He's actually got 3 for himself, and it is, like, it's still a Phantom Lancer, you know? And we haven't seen him in a while, or at least I haven't seen him in a while. But he is still very super strong. Alliance is going to lose their tier 1 tower right now. Fortification goes on, but I only think it's going to be delaying of execution. They might take something in return, though. At least they do a lot of damage to the tier 2 top in return. And force out some TPs, as Aki is just standing casting Illuminates, but can't save his tower from going down. But yeah, like, it's a Phantom Lancer. What to think about that? Like, this Phantom Lancer is doing incredibly well.
I mean, Fanlancer's one of those heroes that you don't want to get out of control because he's very difficult to deal with. He's resilient, he's tricky because of all the illusions around. He has an invis to try and escape with. And it's just because he's so difficult to target, it gives him a whole nother level of survivability that many other heroes don't really have. I don't know if they really think that they should just continue letting him do whatever he wants. He's also been very active in these kills like you were mentioning, and that's just helping give him more farm. And I really don't know if this is what Quantic want to be doing. They're getting a lot of farm on some of their heroes, but it's going to start mattering less and less if they just continue to let Phantom Lancer get really big. Phantom Lancer is the kind of hero that can definitely out-carry.
Yeah, we see that Quantic is actually pushing in the mid now. They are sitting with all their heroes mid. Funzy gets hookshot on, gets himself and Astral Imprisonment to keep him safe. Bane, Trouble, fucking mad. Trouble indeed puts himself in a nightmare. Will be almost denying himself, but will end up going down to the Phantom Lancer regardless. Weaver already picking up EGM on his Rubik as well, as we see Silent and Trouble again on the wrong side of the tower goes down, while Lifesteer S4 gets picked up by Black. That's a double kill for Loda and a double kill for Black. Both of the carries getting quite a nice feeding in this middle lane. And they back off, like the teams back off. The towers are still standing. I'm not sure why Batrider was that far back behind the tower while his team was killing off Lifestealer in front of the tower. And there was no lasso either, so it was again quite aggressive play from him. I think it could have gotten just 2-1 in favor of Quantic for this one.
Yeah, it's certainly possible that Silent didn't need to die there, but I think at the same time, if Silent had backed off right away, Famlancer would have been able to get more involved in the middle of the fight, where the rest of his team was fighting and sort of getting picked off by the other cores of Quantic. And that could change the whole outlook of what this fight ended up being. Rubik actually steals Sanity's Eclipse. I can't decide if I think that's good. I think it's probably not that good, considering his int isn't going to be as high as someone like OD's. But it is still probably going to be much higher than someone like... actually, it's not any higher than Undying's. It's not like higher than anybody's, really.
A little bit on Bane, but not even that much.
Yeah, very, very slightly on Bane. It would be enough to burn Bane's mana, I guess.
Yeah.
So not really the ideal spell to steal here.
Maybe he was hoping for Astral Imprisonment, because that's a pretty good spell to have as a support.
Yeah, and it's one of the only two you can steal from Outworld, and
Yeah.
definitely the most likely, since you can't steal Arcane Orb, as there's an Orb effect, you can't steal those.
Oh, you can't steal the aura, unfortunately. That would be OP. Oh, hookshot
Silent.
into the out TP and Silent. Telekinesis is going to be there as well. Can they take him down? I think they can. Illuminate will help out, and he's going to get recalled by the looks... What was that? It wasn't a recall, because they don't have that. But he did have
I didn't see where. I didn't see anything. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it looked like
I
he
didn't
had a
notice
thingy
anything.
above his, around his, never mind, hero.
Was it like the after effect from Illuminate?
Maybe it
Illuminate
was the
flying
after
through?
effect from the Illuminate. It looked like a recall. But there's no way, there's no recalls or anything. Open wounds? Funny, fucking mad, you're dead. Eclipse comes down, that was the Eclipse from the Rubik?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Eclipse from Rubik, I guess. Whatever. He probably just wanted to use it, I guess, since it's never going to do anything to anyone else.
Yeah.
Regardless, another free kill going the way of Alliance, and those are the things that Quantic really can't afford to be giving away here. Split up, giving away just like kills to the team of Alliance. Especially heroes like Bane, he really needs some levels to keep going here. He has no points in Enfeeble yet, which is somewhat surprising. He actually chose to get stats over Enfeeble. Enfeeble's just so powerful against a hero like Naix.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that that's really the right call. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks for the denies, OD.
That OD... 64 right now, I mean, it's just insane. I mean, no wonder he took refuge in the jungle. He still has an armlet in the end. But yeah, it's slower. It's almost 7 minutes slower. That's pretty damn painful. We do have, like, one funny thing that I want to say about this game. Like, there's 10 kills up on Alliance, right? 5 of them are on the Bane, and 4 of them are up on Silent.
Yeah, Silent's been struggling, to say the least, and the other one is probably on Undying, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of the big thing, is that OD and Weaver both have not died.
Exactly. That's scary for Alliance. Like, they're getting bigger and bigger. They're level 13 and a level 14. Those are 2 of the highest level in the games, apart next to, oh, Blinkin' Lasso S4, lassoed up. Can he survive here? He rages, tries to eat his way out. Who is he gonna try to eat up? He's taking a lot of damage. Look at that Eclipse, and that is one dead Lifestealer. In the meantime, Tombstone goes up, and Bulldog in trouble. Mechanism will keep him safe for a little while longer, and he actually just tries to run away. It is OD that ends up going down to the Keeper of the Light of all heroes. We have got a Lance trying to stop Godlike from TPing out, and in the end he does end up going down. Tower helping out.
Stolen Fiend's Gripped on EGM.
Well,
Black.
That's gonna be him having his Lincoln's complete, paying off already. Trying to Shikushi himself away. There is not gonna be a Lance. There is, however, a Gem of True set up on EGM as well. But no capture there. It is 2 for 2 in the end. Quantic I like it. They got a couple of kills, but they lost. Like we just said, like OD and Weaver haven't died yet. Woo. And they almost lost the Weaver. Well, there was still a time lapse and a Lincoln's, but you know, stealing the Fiend's Grip is a pretty damn scary spell to steal for your Weaver. And they were able to kill the OD off for the first time this game, setting his Hex a little bit back and taking a tier 1 tower on top of that one.
Yeah, and the gem now picked up on the other side. Golak gonna pick that up on his Undying. It's an okay trade. You don't want OD to die, obviously, but they got 2 cores in the form of the Clockwork and the Nakes, and they lost Support Undying and the OD. I don't know if they want to be making that trade simply because I think OD is going to be a heavy player as the game goes on and making sure Quantic can actually stay in this, especially as Famlancer is getting bigger and bigger and they have not dealt with him in any way. Weaver, you know, approximately as big, but really just doesn't have the same effect on the game that a hero like Famlancer does.
Yeah, look at the gold graph after that fight. Quantic was ahead until then, and then boom,
Ooh.
Alliance take a fight, and all of a sudden is back to the 0 line. Experience graph shows it, of course, a bit more clear, as you know, that's always the case. Experience graph is just more drastic, so it goes the way of Alliance right now. And that, of course, is the result of Loda being level 17, which is 2 levels higher than Black is, who is the highest level up on Quantic. Black, who's got 2,500 gold in his inventory, has got a Linkus, has got his drums and treads. What do you think he's gonna go for next?
I really kind of expect some sort of damage. They need it really, really badly. Black, like, he's hitting kind of hard for about 150 damage, but when it's coming to fighting heroes like Nakes, to some extent Admiral Bulldog, it's kind of just like tickly damage, and he needs to be hitting a lot harder than that. So maybe something like MKB could certainly be an option. If you want to go maybe like a Desolator, that's certainly also there as well. MKB is very powerful if you expect Famlancer to eventually go for the Butterfly. He is rushing Heart now, and actually it's only like 500, a little bit more than that, 600, 700 gold off. So I think they need to get damage if they're ever going to be able to fight this Famlancer. Once he has his Heart up, if they don't have like more damage up on him, it's going to be very, very hard, even with OD, with the Scythe.
Yeah, and that brings to another. I mean, you already mentioned OD can clear out those illusions pretty okay, pretty fast. But you don't want to use him to sit in your base and defend your base from illusions. And they don't give gold or anything like that, so you can't really afford to put him on such a role purely because he has more important things to do, or at least he should be doing other stuff. Then again, your base is under attack, he doesn't really have any more important things to do apart from defending his base. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very scary. Once that heart is completed up on Loda, he is gonna be having all those illusions. He doesn't even have to be there himself. He's got his Manta style. Split pushing for Alliance is gonna be horrific for Quantic, who has, by the way, started looking for a pick-off as they just came out of the dire jungle. Oh, but smoke up for Alliance. They find Silent first. Open wound, telekinesis. That is one dead Bat Rider. No hope for him. Tries to force stab himself out. And all of a sudden, Quantic is a one-man down. Hook shot. Hits. Hits up on Goblak. Puts up a tombstone. Let's see what they can do. There is still a Keeper of Light around there as well. Oh, wow. That Eclipse did a lot of damage, but the mechanism keeps him up for a little while longer. In the meantime, S4. I hear him. There he is. Able to pick up the Bane, the Flare from the Clockwork, picking him up. It was Alliance that came around from the other side. 2 kills on the board. Again, the 2 heroes that died most. I mean, really, again, I just want to say it again. The Bane died 6 times. The Bat Rider died 5 times. That is 11 out of the 14 kills up on 2 heroes of Quantic.
Yeah, Silent can't afford to be getting picked up like this. They can't start every fight 5v4 with their initiation Bat Rider down already without having used any of his spells. That's really, really hurting them at this point. And I don't know if Silent just needs to stay with his team, why he's always off on his own, it feels like, or what's going on, because he needs to be there for his team if they want to be able to take these fights. They're still in it, but it's getting harder and harder every time they lose one of these fights.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, we said it during the pre-show, I mean, they haven't played in this composition for a long time. Black only knew, like, Tuesday night / Wednesday morning that he was actually gonna be packing to go, which is pretty last minute if you ask me. I think it was Tuesday night, actually, but it is not really working out for them, and this is Silent the second time that he's placed the Bat Rider in this, in this setup, and you can see, like, he is he is comfortable on the Batrider as a hero, but not really feels the synergy with the team. If you know what I mean. Like, he knows what to do, and he does it properly when he is there, but, like, again, he goes up by himself. This time he force tosses back towards his team. Is it gonna be in time? Looks like he was a little bit too far away. The open wounds were there, and he is asked for imprisonment to keep himself safe. Bulldog, in the meantime, trying to kill off fucking Matt. He is able to do that. It is Rubik that goes down on the side of Alliance, and instead of it, though, it is S4 that tries to eat his way out. Still Undying goes down. Aki going down as well. All supports drop on the side of Alliance, and all supports also go down on the side of Quantic. It is gonna be the OD that TPs himself out. In the end, a 2-for-2 trade, but one difference is that Rubik, EGM, actually bought back after going down.
Yeah, ends up just being
the
even trade
Aegis.
too.
Oh no, the Aegis was still in there. Never mind, S4 didn't actually end up dying. My bad.
Yeah, no, S4 didn't go down. So they just ended up trading the 2 supports for 2 supports. EGM bought back. I don't know if that was necessary. It's like a buyback that you can definitely do because they're fighting behind that tier 2 tower in the top lane. And Silent wants to make sure that this trade does not go even.
Yeah, looks like it. He is trying to hide. He's gonna get dropped down from the high ground real fast though. He blinks away. The hookshot actually missed from Bulldog. Still an illusion around there, and he's able to TP himself out. Well, lucky for him. In the meantime, S4 is actually farming the Radiant jungle. He picked himself up a Sanj. So that could be a Sanj and Yasha. He already has the phase boots and the drums. That is a very fast lifestealer. And of course, you want to have that up against the Weaver.
Yeah, this is a pretty common build on lifestealer now. You go phase boots, drums, armlet, and then Sanj and Yasha. Just go move speed to try and prevent kited.
S4 is going to be in a lot of trouble though. He's going to be hexed
I don't
up.
think they want to use it here because he's going to respawn with the Aegis. They'd be better off saving it afterwards anyways.
Yeah, and it's up right now, or at least it should be. 1 second, and are they going to try to go high ground with this? Yes, they are. Here comes the last 2. Eclipse already brings down EGM. Loda there too, though, and he tries to fight back. It is Goblak. Mechanism Soul Rip. This is not enough to keep him up. He goes down. Admiral Bullock in a lot of trouble with that tombstone. Tries to run away as well. Should be able to do just that. Only 1 down so far. As we are gonna see Funzy trying to run away in the meantime. Fucking Matt gets eaten up by S4. He is gonna be able to get the kill as well. And that's gonna be Silent trying to run away from S4. The blink will be enough. Will be just there. As Alodai just picks himself up. The OD as well. Wasn't able to get away in the end. And that is gonna be Alliance again. A trade going the way of them. And still, this time they do have the Aegis, but or at least lose the Aegis, that is. But still, I mean, what went wrong there? What went wrong for Quantic? Because it looked good. Started off looking good.
Well, so they got the Aegis down, and Lifestealer managed to get himself to the high ground, which is a great thing. It put Quantic in a weird position where they were standing in the river and they were going to have to fight up the high ground, or they were going to have to go way onto Alliance's side of the fight and probably get attacked from the woods area in this region. Where's Lifestealer doing that? Oh, okay, Sun Initiation. So they ended up taking this weird fight because they had to wait for the Aegis to respawn. They really wanted to go on S4, and I think maybe they needed to just back off once they got the Aegis down and be like, well, we got the Aegis, that's all we can get here, everyone else is going to be here very quickly. Batrider blinked in and immediately lassoed Rubik.
Yeah.
I don't know why he immediately lassoed Rubik. Of all the heroes that were standing there, they had both
he lassos S4 right now, though. Let's see if they can take him down. The Fiend Script will be there as well. The question is there enough damage? It looks like there is, and no support incoming from Alliance. So that will be a nice pickup, and that's something that they, of course, wanted to do earlier. But yeah, I agree with you. Why the Rubik? Why not the Phantom Lancer? Who was there? Like, he didn't have any illusions at the time. Maybe a couple, but he could have lassoed S4. He could have lassoed, I think, Loda as well. I think that would have been possible.
Either one. And the really big thing is that EGM died immediately to Sanity's Eclipse anyways.
Yeah, lasso was completely wasted.
Yeah, like the lasso did effectively nothing. Sanity's Eclipse also went off, I believe, while the rage was up on Nyx, and it didn't look like it did damage, and I think it doesn't do damage. I guess I'm not sure. I felt like it would do damage, but it really looked like it didn't. I can't imagine it did no damage at all to
it should do quite a bit of damage, especially with
50
that
damage.
up. Yeah,
so it looked like it just didn't hit him at all, so maybe just unfortunate timing. And if he had lassoed the Nyx right away, and he doesn't get that rage off, that fight can go completely different.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's gonna be tough for Quantic to fight from here on out, because that Phantom Lancer with the split push is gonna be really tough to deal with. They can't really leave their base anymore for long periods of time, and normally that's only when you are, of course, having already a Rex down, but having a Phantom Lancer on the team does the same, and yeah, 0 deaths for Loda in this game. It is pretty tough. He plays it often. Well, no, he doesn't play that often. He actually said once that he doesn't like the hero's mechanics, but he'll still pick it if need be, and he'll still play it, and he'll still win with it. He's got himself a butterfly next to his heart right now. I mean, who is gonna do the damage up on Quantic? Weaver hasn't got an MKB, is building towards it though, but right now is not able to kill off Loda just yet. With his MKB, he might be able to.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer. Black does a lot of damage at this point. I'm pretty happy he went for the Death Slayer. I think that was the right pick. He really needed the armor reduction to try and tear through some of these heroes that are kind of tanky.
Hook shot. Gets fucking mad. Nightbear's gonna be there though. Might be enough for him to get away as well as the imprisonment. S4 getting a last suit. Is there enough damage? In comes the rest of Alliance, or where are they? In comes Loda, that's one, but his teammate's already dead. He is by himself right now. Is this a one-man army? He is gonna get Fiend's Grip, and this is just a complete suicidal action coming off from Alliance. The Keeper of Light tried to do something, and everybody just walks in one by one.
That is an insane fight for Quantic. You can't do that if you're Alliance here. You can just be like, oh yeah, we're so far ahead, we're fine just giving up a 5-for-0 trade by walking in one at a time. Yeah, so we just talked about the stats where Froda is no more, and then Loda's like, I got this. 5v1, I'm Phantom Lancer, I can't lose.
He walked in when his team was already dead. I think he could have double walked away at that point.